I would love just kind of your thought on maybe just one practical way that men can take a little bit of the shame out of their sex, either out of their masturbation or out of the sex they're having. If there's something around the shame, because I think the shame is the thing that keeps us trapped so often in our place.
Yeah, so there's two things that I would suggest. The first is have a conversation, if you've got a partner, with your partner about masturbation. Your partner probably assumes that you do it, and you maybe assume that your partner doesn't do it because there's this stigma around like women masturbating still. And it doesn't have to be like a high stakes, high pressure situation, conversation. Have a cup of tea, go for a walk, have a drive, whatever it is, do something, like do an activity together and have a conversation about self-pleasure and masturbation, and ask your partner's opinions on whether they think it's healthy. And if you think it is healthy, like share that as well, and talk about, like, just normalize that conversation. That's the first thing. Like, that'll diffuse a lot of shame, because a lot of guys are masturbating without, like, in hiding, without telling their partner. They're doing it in secret, right? Pretending that they're not doing it, essentially. And that's a vulnerable thing to do, to have that conversation. Yeah. So if you can reframe vulnerability as, like, what I kind of reframe it as is sexual leadership. If you can be a leader and lead that conversation and say, hey, I want to have this conversation, it's something that's been on my mind. Like, I think it's really important to have. If you can lead your partner into that, invite them into that space with you, then, there's strength in that, right? There's strength in that vulnerability. So that's the reframe that I want to give. In terms of like a physical thing that you can do when you're by yourself, when you're self-pleasuring, when you're masturbating, and this is going to be tough for a lot of guys, and it'll trigger shame, but that's the point of this, is so that you can work through it, is explore the rest of your body. So like if every time you masturbate, if you think, what do I do? If every single time that you masturbate, you're just like friction-based stroking your cock and it's just up and down and that's it, then I want to really invite and encourage and challenge you to explore other areas of your body. Even just like start off with other areas of your genitals, like explore a different part of your penis, right? Different part of your cock that you haven't touched before. Maybe the frenulum, maybe the head, maybe your balls, maybe your perineum, maybe your glutes, your buttocks, right? God forbid, you start exploring your anus as well. Like, that's a whole nother kettle of fish. But, and then from there, like, expand outwards, like start at your genitals and expand outwards. That's a really good rule of thumb when you're like, and this is a rule of thumb for women as well. Like, if you're sexually stimulating a guy, start at his genitals and work your way out from there. And if you're a guy stimulating a woman, start at the peripheries and work your way towards the genitals. But yeah, just explore other areas of your body and notice what comes up. Really notice if you tense up when you start exploring your chest, or tense up when you start maybe touching your ribs, or whatever it is. And if you can, breathe. Really drop into that diaphragmatic deep breathing, that relaxation response that we have, that parasympathetic nervous system that we have, because that'll help to diffuse that shame at a physical level as well. So explore other areas of your body, slow down, and just breathe through any feelings that might come up, any tension that might come up when you do that.
I want to be a sexual leader. I want that. I think that is that's a big aha for me.